best products of 2024 and some great Christmas ideas for you right now. We have a ton of products. I think we have 50 products to go over right now. Every one of them we have used personally and are tried and true. So very cool. Can give you some good ideas of what you might want to give for a Christmas present or to receive for yourself. When you're an older guy like ourselves, we tend to give ourselves our gifts. Right, Donnie?
That's right.
So here we go. So the first thing I'm going to go over is free or homemade type presents. When I say free, next to free, cheap to make, an engine stand so you can have an engine on the bench. We also use this for other things like working on a wheel, different things like that. This one just has some 11-inch pieces of 2x4s screwed together. Even I can make this pretty simple. I think you could even go with 12-inch pieces if you wanted to make it maybe a little bit larger for a 4-stroke. Okay, the world famous tire change stand that I use right here. So if you have a welder buddy, uncle, or yourself, you can make one of these up. And this is a great Christmas present for your buddies, for your riding group. You can make these up and be the hero at Christmas time. All you do is simply email us for the drawings and we will send them to you with all the videos, links to help you make your own. Pretty simple deal if you're a little bit skilled with a welder and cutting off and doing that kind of work. This will really help in tire changes, and I personally do not like to ever change tires without one. Okay, I have on here right now this MSR Rover vest. It has a CCW compartment right here. Really cool. Spencer ran this thing all summer, really liked it. I'm going to be running one this winter to get used to it, and I kind of want to get it off right now for this video. So I'm going to pull it off. You can see it's completely adjustable. One size fits most, they say. And Donnie, you pulled those side things. I had plenty of room, right? For a bigger dude or a smaller dude, you could still get plenty of adjustment. I think in the summertime when it's hot, it could be a little bit much, but it would keep you from wearing a regular vest, which is what Spencer does. I'm wearing a regular vest, which I'll show later, and he just wears this. It's an incredible way, and it has your hydration pack in the back. You can run the hose up. It's pretty good feeling. I have a few buddies that like this style. A lot of guys kind of go to this style because it's much more freer feeling than just a backpack. It distributes that weight out to the front. You can have your phone up here. Again, your CCW. You're all good to go. The next low-cost item we have that's a great present, even for anybody, is the DIRTBIKETV t-shirt, right? So available through Decal Works. We have our links in our description right to it. We also have a discount code, DBTV1, and you can use that and you save 20%, so it knocks down, save you on shipping. You could also get some numbers or something at the same time and help you out. Really cool design. Nick, actually at Decal Works, is one of the ones that really helped with this design. Nearly all these products are available from Rocky Mountain, and you can use our links. We'll have links to all of these in the description below the video. If you're listening, you can check back in and hit us up for those links if you need them. So if you're listening on the podcast, we'll try to describe this stuff as best we can. And remember to use our links when you go to buy these things from Rocky Mountain or anywhere else. Okay, you might notice we have some cool Christmas vibes going back here. We don't have the music on because we don't want to get dinged, right? Digital watch. You go, what in the world would you do with these? But to me, this is, and I've talked about this many times, the way to do longer motos when you ride motocross is to simply ride longer each time, even if it's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So you set a goal and you put this on your bars and just do a simple countdown. I look for these things on Amazon and I like to buy them when they're $5 to $12. So I don't usually pay more than $8 or $10 for one because they get ruined. And they would last longer if I took them off when I washed the bike. So that's something I should do. You just get a real simple one, wrap it around the bars like this. Also, we have them, we've actually done a little video where if you have a crossbar, if you don't have a crossbar, you can't wrap it around, then we'll actually cut the bar pad and put it through there. Very simple to do. And then you can wrap it around into itself just like that. So we use watches like that to really help out in extending our longer motos. If you pull off, you did 10 minutes, next time, try to do 12, work your way up. I do 45 at Glen Helen. I love to do long motos. And when I say motos, I usually like to do long moto. One long moto and then one really short one, usually is my typical practice day. So that's an easy tip for you and pretty inexpensive. Klotz assembly lube. We use Klotz like the R50 for our two-stroke mix. They also have an assembly lube that's a little bit different than the two-stroke oil. Really fine for when you're assembling, putting a new piston, rings in, anything like that. You'll want to use an assembly lube. That's a really good one to use. Okay, so the KTM models come with these little straps that go around the bars to hold your electrical parts. And Hilo actually has now made their own really cool little straps. It beats having to use a zip tie that you have to cut off and on. These little straps are kind of cool. Really inexpensive and nice addition. You can run them on a Honda, Yamaha, whatever you want. You don't have to run it on a KTM bike. ODI is one of our long-term partners, and we really like the ODI grips. Well, there's a few models, like we have that CRF 125 that I got from my buddy Donnie, and unfortunately, they don't have a good cam for that one to use. So they made this setup here where the throttle grip, you see I'm pushing on this, is a glue-on grip, and the left side is a clamp-on, like normal. So it locks on. So lock on and then glue on for the throttle side. So it's a really cool new addition for just coming out right now. Really cool addition. And then the Micro X are for little tiny bikes with little tiny bars. I don't have my glasses on here, but it's like little tiny 50s, electric bikes, even little scooters. So this Micro X, and they have a bunch of cams now for these little micro sizes for 50s and some 65s that have really small bars. Okay, Dunlop tubes are one of the highest quality. This tube is available from MXTire, not greatly available, but this heavy-duty tube, you don't even need a super heavy-duty tube from Dunlop is a great way to go. We showed this in a past show. This guy made these Oinker for chain lubes and squirts out chain lube. Not a totally necessary item, but kind of a cool thing for the guy that has everything. He wants to get that lube on his chain. We use like an oily lube. It's a cool little product to add to any of your cans. Okay, we're a little out of order on price range, but our next one is our time Serts. This is a 6mm time Sert kit. They're like $120 range, and you can buy different size lengths of inserts. These kits, a 6mm one, if you're doing a lot of bike work, if you're getting to be over 40, you're working on neighbors and kids' bikes, different things, a time Sert kit is really helpful for repairing stripped out threads on bikes you buy. It does happen to even ourselves, but typically it's on guys that bring over bikes. We're pretty good about not stripping stuff out, but it does happen. I know in our CR250 builds and Donnie's KX500, we use these things a ton. So time Sert kit is the way to go to fix things correctly. So Grip Edge makes these Allen bolt heads, which are Hex. Okay, this one's actually a 1/4-inch drive, and it has these. The heads look like they're Torx, but they're really not. They're for a Hex, and what they were invented for was for getting stripped out Hex or Allen out. And they're a really cool little design, and they work exceptionally well. So really nice product from Grip Edge is the company that has these. And if you have a stripped out Hex or Allen, this is the way to go. You can also use them on your regular use and not have any problems. We partner these up with like an ASV Y handle is really nice to partner these up with. This one's a 3/8, but we have 1/4-inch versions as well. These ASV Y levers, we call them, you could put your 3 most popular items you have that you like to use and have them hanging on your pegboard or close in your shop, hanging somewhere where you're going to use it regularly. Here we go with the cheapest mod you can do to your dirt bike, a 4-stroke. You can buy a 2-stroke air filter cage. The KTM, Husqvarna gas models, you can simply buy the 2-stroke cage right here. This is for a 24, 25 range bike. And they did the same thing on the older bikes. This is the quickest way to get a little bit more snap, losing that backfire screen. Simple deal. You can just buy the OEM KTM one. They're like $11, $12. Pretty inexpensive. Tusk has JIS screwdrivers. These are Phillips head screwdrivers, but the JIS is Japanese Industrial Standard screwdrivers. And these screwdrivers just have a tiny bit different tip, and these work really well, especially on the smaller threads of like a kill switch, anything like that, or a brake cap screw. These things fit better than a typical number 2 or number 3 or number 1 Phillips. So these are really helpful to have and really inexpensive now from Tusk. We have the links in there. So it's a good way to go. I would recommend you have a Japanese industrial standard kit like this in your collection. On all the KTM models like 16 to 22 range, they ran a start switch like this. And Tusk has made one. This is like $12. It's really inexpensive. It's a great backup to have because these things do get corroded and will damage in here. And it's nice to have one of these on hand to replace it. Or if yours is damaged, you simply get a new one. Pretty inexpensive insurance for your KTM bike. All right. Not as fancy, pretty packaging here, but this first gloss coat is very similar to some another prep you would use after washing that has 3 letters and 2 letters and a number. So this one, it smells good and works really well to kind of, after you're done washing your bike, to prep on it, clean on it, and it's pretty inexpensive comparatively speaking, sprayed under the fenders. I don't like it too much on my shroud areas. I don't like to do that because I don't like to be slippery, or on the seats, anything like that, but really good to kind of shine things up and then wipe her down after your bike washes. These Tusk oil filters have been great for us, and you can buy them in a 5-pack. Saves a little bit of money. You can get 5 of them at one time. These are for a KTM. Simple insurance. Typically, we change out the filter every other oil change. There's guys, if you can do it every time, that's fine. We're just being a little lazy more than the cost. So pretty inexpensive way to keep up on your bike maintenance. This is seeming a little bit like a Tusk ad, but they have some good inexpensive parts. These levers are great to have as a backup. These are the KTM levers. Really nice addition. And this one is, they have the clutch and brake lever. And this one even has the little sleeve in here and the little plunger and spring, which is really cool. These kits from KTM are really expensive. You hear that? That's the sound of a dead blow. A lot of people don't realize what a dead blow is. Very simple product to have. I see too many guys hitting their axle with a steel hammer, a ball peen hammer or a claw hammer. Don't do it. This is very inexpensive from Tusk, from Rocky Mountain. So use this whenever you're working on your bike, like hitting an axle in, anything like that, use a dead blow. Specbolt has kits for every bike. Small, medium, large. This is a large one for a KTM bike, has all the pieces that are popular for that bike in there. I suggest if you have a Honda 450 or whatever it is, get the basic kit from them to be able to at least have some backup hardware for you. This one's one we've added a lot of parts to. You can get just anything from these guys, and they have the nickel stuff that's really cool looking, or the OEM looking KTM stuff. So lots of choices for you from Specbolt. This IMS catch can fits in the frames of the 16 and up KTM models, even the new generation models. This thing fits inside the frame and will allow the radiator to overflow into here and then suck back in. When we install it, we put about half of our coolant in here so that it has a little bit of cool coolant that's in here that it can cycle back in. It's a great way to help keep your KTM a little bit cooler, and it's not too expensive for what you're getting in the technology. You do have to drill one little hole in your frame to be able to bolt it in there. Pretty simple process. Okay, everyone has seen these little battery packs now. Tusk has one, really cool, has a light, charging areas to be able to charge up your phone. If you're out on the trail, you can jump a bike right here. It'll start up that. It even start a tiny car. It's not going to start or anything else. We keep all kinds of stuff in there so we can charge up. We have everything we need. It's a great little addition for your travel pack. This is a mount for your action camera. So we used to run ones that stuck onto our helmet. Extreme Wannabes, those were great, but they're not making those anymore. So this mount is really cool. It's only like $14 on Amazon. You can see it. It'll be in our links, and it'll strap onto about any front of your helmet. And it works really well. It's pretty simple and has the mount right here. We put our GoPro, and recently we just got an Insta360, so we've been running that, and Spencer's been running that with this setup. I did trim a little bit in here. Donnie can show a photo of his. He trimmed his a little bit better. I did mine at the track. I was a little cobby. And so I could bring I like to shoot vertical for Instagram at the track, and on some of the trail stuff. But if you're doing for YouTube, it's nice to have it horizontal like everyone's used to. You can see it widescreen. Okay, a really cool tool from Motion Pro, who specializes in specialty tools for dirt bikes, actually makes these right here, Masterlink pliers. They have a little step right here, and this little step is just crucial for being able to put on that master link and take it off. Works so well. And I know, yes, you can use a screwdriver and knock it off, and I did it for years, but this is a whole lot easier. I had a buddy, I've said this before, who hit it, and he put the screwdriver, and his name was TC also, same guy, put the screwdriver through his arm, right in there. Luckily didn't hit nothing, but it went way in his arm. I'm like, how in the world did that happen? But it did.
Why is he hitting it so hard?
Yeah, he slipped right off. He just not experienced.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have been left alone. He was alone in the shop. I was inside, unsupervised. That's what happened. So little snap-on, Motion Pro pliers for the Master Link. Really cool little item. So we got the tire spoons here from Motion Pro. This is the standard spoon, just an amazing deal. And we use that with our Bead Buddy. These two things together, I like to have at least 3 spoons. If you're gonna buy some, I think if you had 2, you can get by. 3 is ideal. If you have 3 spoons, and they're pretty inexpensive, and you can see them in our links right now. Here we go. This is the elusive pink overflow hose for your carburetor. Everybody likes the look of this thing, right? Look at that. That is what we use on all the bikes. It's what's on Donnie's 500, our Hondas. I'll let that rattling not make so much dang noise. Here's the part number right here. I don't have my glasses on, but there's the part number, and you can order this, and it's pretty dang inexpensive. I don't know if that price is even right, but it says, but anyway, it's pretty inexpensive. It can't be $4. It says it's $4. So, can't really be that, right?
It says $4.
That's crazy. So, like, it's awesome. I knew it was like 10 or 12 bucks, but that's the Honda hoses you can use for your vent lines on your 2-strokes or 4-strokes, really, but we mainly use them on the 2-strokes. The Drop from FMF. We've talked about this. Everybody's seen it a number of times. This is a great Christmas present you could give somebody. Even if you just did it for 3 or 4 or 5 months, whatever you did, you can pause it, cancel at any time. So really fun to get a little package every month with a new t-shirt and a little present each month. On KTM models, that would go for the Husqvarna as well, the 16 and up, even previous to that, they did have a lot of fuel pump problems, especially bikes with over 100 hours. Having a gauge to simply check that if you're working on a lot of bikes, this is not very expensive from Takomoto. He's rigged up a nice gauge that you can actually just plug in, and it's long enough hose where you can run it and check it while you're riding as well, because it's one thing you can check it and it can be okay. You're going to be around that 50 mark. It could be okay when you're idling, but then when you ride, it might go off. So pretty simple deal. It just plugs right in line in your fuel system. Pretty simple, very simple deal. Click, play. I'd recommend if you're going to be working on a lot of bikes for guys, if you have some of the older KTM bikes, dual sports, this would be the way to have one of these in your box. This is the trickiest little grease gun I have. It has this little tip right here, and Tech 167 in Australia makes this little base, because without the base, it would just want to fall over all the time. So he made a 3D base for it like that, and it sits on your bench. You can also switch out this tip for the a regular Sert fitting. Now, unfortunately, he's been out of stock on these, so I'm not sure if they're going to be back in soon, but he makes a great job on making these things, and he does a lot of other 3D parts out of Australia. Okay, if you're looking for some extra braking power, which I really like having, is the Tusk oversized front rotor. And I just always love having more braking and power. And having that oversized front rotor is a great feel for me. I want to be able to stop. It does come with a bracket, and this is one of the less expensive kits you can do. And we have tons of time riding on these oversized kits over the last 7-8 years, and they're just incredible. They last really well. Durability is good. Performance is great. I just don't see any big downside to them. A lot of the OEM bikes have gone to larger rotors, so they don't have them for every bike, because stock, they've kind of gone to as big as they can, within reason. So some of the bikes that can still use them, they offer them for. Okay, with all the new generation bikes, the lithium batteries can go away without proper maintenance. Riding them more often actually helps the more you ride them. And take good care of them. When you go to start your bike, don't just instantly just hit that thing for a second. Let it wake up before you draw on that thing a bunch. But these lithium batteries from Tusk are a lot more inexpensive than the stock ones, and a great way to go. Nihilio also makes a start-stop conversion deal for the 24, 25, 350, well, all the bikes, but we run them on our 350 SXF and XCFs, and it plugs and plays, and it gives you the switches that are more like the older bikes we're used to, start switch, stop switch. And if you're riding off-road, some guys like to flip those around, so they're doing dead engine starts. So you have that ability here. With the stock OEM switch, it's not very positive feeling, engaging, and you don't have that luxury of being able to move the switches around from side to side. So a great addition. There's also a few other companies that have them, but this is a really good one out there right now. So another company out there that's doing a lot of dual sport pieces is True North Motos, and they have the Euro switch here that we're going to be putting on our gas dual sports that we are working with. And it has blinkers, a horn and an off switch, and a high-low beam for our lights, all on this cool looking switch with a kill switch built in. Really slick setup. 3D printed radiator louvers for those bikes that are unavailable now. So our CR250 builds, AK Technologies helped us out, and we tested a bunch of different ones. Here's one that cracked actually because it was too brittle. So he made a new material out of a new material that's really pliable and really cool. I'm not sure what these are going to retail for yet, but we're going to be testing some more of these. We have some on Dirt Bike Magazine's bike, and this is a really cool piece for those guys that are looking for something for like these CR250s that are not available. You can't get anything. This is going to be a great option for you to be able to get a set of radiator louvers on there that aren't all nasty and pukey looking. Adventure riding's all the rage, right, Donnie?
That's right.
So adventure jackets. We have an MSR one here, and this thing's great. It's a different feel, but when you were out on the big adventure bikes, kind of cool, right? It's nice feeling, more protection. And then Donnie has the Climb version that's kind of their low to mid-range jacket. And that one's really nice. Also, let's put a picture of that one in there. So we can have a link to that one. And that's the one he ran in South Dakota at the rally ride and performed really well, right?
I loved it.
So good jackets. You want to get a good jacket for these adventure dual sport rally type rides. The advantage of the Climb one Donnie had was the sleeves came off. Really like that deal. Not all of them do. The MSR one does not, and the Climb one that Donnie got did, and that was an advantage. He was able to pull those off when he started heating up. 2 or 4-stroke, Pro X has rod rebuild kits to rebuild the crank. Now, this is a great option because it's Japanese quality components from Japan, bearings, washers, everything you need to rebuild the crank. And it's getting harder to find good crank rebuilders, but out west, you got Tom Morgan back east that does them, Andrew Langston out west here. There's many guys out there that still do it, and it's a good art, but you're getting a crank that's really high quality, still got your components. Your crank halves still are your OEM stock ones, and then you have an OEM quality rod kit in there. Cardo Systems is probably the #1 thing that's improved our trail rides, Spencer and I especially. We have our unit right here, and it has made a huge difference on our trail rides that we're able to talk and communicate. And when we take bigger groups, it's even better because we don't have to worry about somebody missing a trail or whatever. We have somebody that, hey, hold up and wait right there. It makes a huge difference. And the speakers are high quality JBL speakers that go inside the helmet. If you and your son are riding together, especially, I say this is a great addition, especially if he's younger. You want to keep after him and warn him of things. Spencer's ahead of me on the trail, and he warns me of something. Hey, up here coming up, stay to my right, stay to my right. And he just warned me. So then I stay to his right. I missed the tougher section. He's watching out for me. So it's really nice. Cardo System's really good, and we have a good discount code there, DBTV1. You can use that at checkout. 2 and 4-stroke. Wiseco, the name that's been trusted for years. We use these pistons in about every build that we do, and we got some great options for you. They make things from down to 50 cc's up to up to car engines, right? So they make stuff for everything. So check out Wiseco. We have our discount codes in the links below as well. Zipper time. This is the Legend off-road vest. Really nice fitting vest. This is the XL. I'm still XL, Donnie. So I think I'm going to be XL the rest of my life. Hopefully nothing bigger, right? So really nice vest. This is great for moto or light trail use. Not for, serious dual sport riding, but those days that are like 60, 50 to 60 degrees kind of thing. Really nice having a vest on, keeps your core warm. Got a little slot here. I keep my phone in there when I'm riding. I can snap some pics. So really nice to have. Really like it. And I have some photos where I cut out the back of one for the summertime, which is, you know, not everyone can do that, but that helped because that back is where my hydration pack rests. So keeps me a little cooler. A roller gear bag is really helpful. And these MSR one, and there's also a Rocky Mountain version. They're both the same. Pretty inexpensive for this large of and quality of gear bag. We've used these for a couple years and they're really good. We can put our boots in there in their own compartment. They fit nicely on one side and can fit everything else right in the main compartment. I leave one side open for all my, you know, goggles and gloves and stuff like that. So it's nice to have a really quality gear bag loaded up that can handle a ton of weight and you can throw that thing around. Really nice to have. For those guys on new generation KTM bikes that want to get all that fuel out, we've talked about this on numerous shows and podcasts. We've talked about it, is that the stock fuel pump is up too high in the new generation bikes. So the full solution, the Mac Daddy of solutions, is putting the old pump in a new IMS 3.5 or larger tank. We like the 3.5. That's as much as we are going to ever want to be out riding that long. You put that pump in there. So it's a big solution because you got to buy a pump and the tank from IMS, and you can put in the old pump and run the lines. We have a video that shows how to do that, and that you can see it here on this 500 EXC of Donnie's. It has this complete system. It's what the guy that has everything, that wants everything, that's what he's going to want on his big off-road build. Okay, here is our AT82. This front tire is really good. The rear tire is great also, but the front tire, for guys that really like really high performance in a tire, this tire is good enough for the motocross and supercross guys. The Lawrence brothers are even running this tire in some supercrosses and outdoor races. This AT82, it is directional, really high quality tire, and it was meant as a trail bike tire, but is good on the track as well. Works really good off-road. Durability is pretty dang good. I think this is a tire that a lot of people are going to like in a various amount of terrain all throughout the country. Here's a tire that at first glance you're going to think, this thing looks silly. Well, it's also smashed down right now, but it sits like this on your bike, and this is a K950 Trials tire. This is a DOT approved street legal tire. That's what's really nice about this tire. So durability is really good and has a tremendous grip off-road. So this is great tire for a guy on a dual sport who's doing a lot of off-road trails, you know, doing a lot of dirt roads and so forth. The only place it wouldn't be amazing is in deep mud, where it's going to really pack with mud, or in deep sand. It can do light sand, no problem, but everything else, the dry stuff, the roots, the rocks, the asphalt, this thing's amazing. And so what we run on a lot of our dual sport type bikes. Okay, here's the Wiseco Flex Hone. A little off on the pricing. This should have gone down lower in our video, but this is a really good item to have, and the only way to really hone out a cylinder, if you need to, this is the way to do it. And Wiseco has these in a variety of sizes that you would need, depending upon what you're working on.
Twisted development exhaust flange 450 500 dual sport.
Phalanges. Okay, see these phalanges? These are the KTM 450 500 right here. This is the twisted development one that has a nice blended area and transition in, and the stock one is just a straight shot. On the dyno and on the feel, this is the simplest way to pick up a bunch of power in a 450. And you're thinking, why would you want more power in a 450? Well, I don't. But on a dual sport 500, it's nice to get a little bit more power. So that's where we run these things, and just matches and lays right into the port. This feels a lot better on that bike. On these new generation bikes, we'll talk about this a little bit with Twisted. So we have this and this paired up with an ECU mod. This bike can pick up 21 horsepower easily. So 21 horsepower just by adding the ECU and pulling off a few things, a slip-on FMF, and this, we pick up a ton of power. Also, the nice thing with this ECU is this right here. How cool is this thing, Donnie?
That thing's amazing, and that's the best thing I've ever had for a motorcycle.
Quick shift. You wouldn't think you'd want quick shift because we don't use quick shift really on the motocross bikes, but quick shift on a dual sport is really, really cool. Really fun to do. You just click, 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 never touch that clutch. Really fun item from Twisted to be able to do that. Now, if you're on more of a budget, he also maps the stock ECUs. So you can get your stock ECU mapped, and it's gonna get you like 80, it depends on the actual bike, and he's pretty straightforward. He'll tell you, it's gonna get you like 80, 90%, maybe not even quite that high, but somewhere close to what you would get with the Vortex. You can't do the fancy quick shift. You can't do some of those features. You can't do some of the tuning like you can with his on a Vortex. You can't do any of the clicker changes. So you're stuck a little bit, but you'll have two maps to switch from. If you have a selector, you'll be able to switch between those maps. So that's a nice thing that you could do with the stock ECU. Also, Jamie allows you, if you do pay for mapping of your stock ECU, you can if you do that for a while, try it for 6 months or a year, and you want to put that money towards, he'll let you parlay that into a Vortex. Too good to be true, right?
Too good to be true.
Yeah, lets you pay that forward, that amount towards your Vortex ECU. Okay, Donnie and I have long time been knee brace guys. We kind of stopped for a little bit and then went back. We've tried it back and forth. I'm still a proponent of probably wearing them, especially for older guys. I think it's not worth the risk. I was not wearing them for a while, and then I hurt my knee again, and I wish I had them on at that time. I think it's protective. The Asterisk braces, their first generation ones were really rough. These new ones are so good, drastically improved, really good feel. They also have stops. You can change the amount of extension, and you have good protection in your leg as well.
Low C toy.
Is that it?
Dude, we got 3 more. Low C, Best CD, and Spotify.
Okay. So we're wrapping up.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a 38-minute video, maybe less.
Oh, we went really fast. That's awesome. Ready? This is a heavy-duty, legit toy. This is not for some 7 or 8 year old who doesn't really appreciate what he has here. The chain, the brakes, everything works on this thing. It's an incredible RC machine, and we are still learning because Spencer and I aren't very good at it, but we're getting a little better. So really cool. This is for the guy that has everything and has a little bit of time on his hands, and he wants to moto nonstop. He wants to even moto when he's sitting at home. He wants to be able to moto in the backyard with a toy RC. And this is the thing for him. So if your guy wants the ultimate, right here, and it is available from Rocky Mountain as well. So we'll have that link below.
Best CD
Okay.
of all time.
Well, I just brought a bunch, yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, Donnie, we've motoed through a lot of products.
Cranked it up.
50 products or so. We have to go through and count, but I think I counted before I was loading these things up, and it's a lot. You know what I'm not looking forward to? Is putting all these away.
Oh, right.
Sarah helped me. I will say thank you very much. Yeah. So that's huge. So what I wanted to end with is a couple things. First of all, music. And I like that a lot of people, I run into people and they're like, hey, you kind of introduced me to some rock music. And I'm like, well, cool. They're like, yeah. So they're learning this stuff, and we're helping educate the next generation. So I was going to go over just some of the top CDs if you're going to like give somebody a gift, or you can simply just buy them like Spotify, right? That's easier nowadays. You get Spotify, Apple Music. Which one do you use? Apple Music? Apple Music. You make your own playlists and everything?
Yep.
I don't like giving them any more money than I already give them. I give them so much money.
Yeah, the
Okay.
problem is, you think you've given them money?
So, just bought my new phone. Well, at least I'll be buying it for a while.
Hey, why don't you buy one of those Mac Pro computers?
Oh, man. Okay. So I was going to go over a few of my favorite CDs. Cinderella is one of my favorite bands. As I was loading up, this song came on. It was so good. So anyway, Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. Just a great song. And Tom Kiefer, the singer, is still going strong. He had voice surgery. He's done a couple solo albums. So good. Went and saw him this April. Cinderella, Long Cold Winter. And then the album after this has Bad Seamstress Blues and... no, that's what's on here. It has, I forgot. Anyway, it's so good. Okay, that one. 5150 Van Halen is the first one with Hagar. Van Hagar got joked around and called in. This album is amazing. Every song, so good. And it was so new at the time because they brought in keyboards and the keyboards and the guitar, everything sounds so great on this album. Tesla, Mechanical Resonance, Cowboy, modern day Cowboy. So good, right? So good. Just an incredible rock song. Queensryche, Empire. This album, they do have some, Operation Mindcrime and some other stuff that's pretty dang good, but this one has all the hits on it. The Jet City Woman, all those are on here. Best I Can just starts off so good and stays good. There's the ticket stub. You like that? I do that. I would always keep we don't get no more ticket stubs no more. Okay. Extreme. This is a new album I talked about on our podcast a while back. This is a brand new album. So good. They just released like the 7th or 8th video. They're doing videos for these. They're so good. You have to check them out. Yeah. If you on YouTube, you can subscribe to them, and they have a video now for almost every song because it's so inexpensive now to make a video. You can do it with like an iPhone. So they're making videos for about every song now. So this is called 6. This one's really good, worth checking out. I talked about this album before. Rat, 81 and 91. Best years of our lives, Donnie?
For sure.
For sure. Donnie didn't even hesitate to say 81 and 91, best years of his life.
No doubt.
No doubt, he said. Okay, so hopefully wives aren't listening. So best years of our lives, 81 and 91. Kids, nothing against you. 81 and 91. There we go. Right there. Okay? I got married in 92. So wow. What about you? No, you got way later.
07.
07. All right, that's right. 81, 91. Okay. Let's go Dokken, because I'm going to save the Def Leppard. Dokken, Under Lock and Key. Hard to find my favorite album, but this is probably it. It has Unchained the Night, The Hunter, In My Dreams, Slipping Away, Lightning Strikes Again, It's Not Love, Jaded Heart. Such a good album. So good, so good. And then got 2 Def Leppard albums. It's hard to decide which one's better. I think now I like High and Dry the best. At the time, I didn't. I liked Pyromania, probably the best for a long time. And now Hysteria gets right in there. Hysteria is so good. And it's better now that we're older. It is a little bit more chill, right? But it's so good.
Hey, I really feel like you're missing Back in Black here.
I did. It was one of the ones I did forget, yes. So it's right in there.
I'm going to have to...
And White Snake. Right.
Oh, and White Snake. Oh, my God.
Yeah, the 1987 White Snake self-titled album. So really good. Merry Christmas to everyone, right? So if you're watching this video, if you watched it all the way through to the end, you should get some type of bonus. I don't know what I could do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Super fan bonus.
Super fan bonus.
Yeah.
We'll mention you. You email me. I'll save it. I'll give you a shout out. Right. We could do that.
Yeah.
And
We're
you
gonna
could
have to spot check them. We got to know what they're emailing us.
They could email me and send me a picture of their bike, and then I could post their bike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Right.
We could do that.
I like it.
Because I usually
think email you. Have bought the shirt, showing a photo with you in the shirt and your bike.
Yeah, I already showed one guy. I thought anybody that sends me a photo with the shirt on, that I'd post that.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so we'll post that. If anybody sends a shirt photo, let's do it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed all that. That's a lot of stuff. Obviously, can't buy everything, but hopefully it gives you some ideas. And if you ever have questions on products, like technical questions or what you would choose, feel free to email me and I'll give you my best thoughts that I can. I haven't tried everything. We are locked in with some companies that we use a lot more than others. So I haven't tried everything, but I can give you my best advice on some of that stuff. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We work with some great companies, and here's a list of those right now. Dunlop motorcycle tires, Wiseco piston, Vinco air shocks and dirt bike parts, FMF exhaust, Decal Works graphics, Pro X racing parts, Recluse clutch revolution, Motion Pro specialty motorcycle tools, Works connection, Uni filter, Klotz oil, Cometic gasket, MX plastics, JE pistons, Cardo systems, ODI bars and grips. And remember, if you shop Rocky Mountain, use our link from our site, Linktree, or link in description of the videos. Thanks for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.